right, let's do a cast off. So the tension for this is at 5, right? The size of the loop. Okay, and so when you fill out your tech sheet, you'll put the stitch loop length right there, 5, your needle selection, and then here is the stitch notation. So in order to cast off, we want to loosen up this stitch so it's not too tight in the cast off. All right, so I'm going to loosen it up a little bit each course till it's really loose. Okay, so now you can knit without a comb. We'll talk about a comb later, but you kind of want a little bit of tension while you're doing this, right? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, if you go down underneath the machine right there, there's this handle, okay, right here.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You cannot knit in this position, but this is a way to separate the beds so you can see what you're doing better, okay? So if I pull this out, it comes down. And this comes down too, right? And it's okay because it's just connected right here. So now you can see the knitting better, right? Mm-hmm. The front bed is separated from the back. You cannot knit with it like this. So you have to push it back up. All right, so we loosened up the stitches, and now I want to do a quick cast off. So I'm going to use this yellow tool. Okay, this yellow tool has a latch hook on one side and 2 transfer needles on the other. So if I use my latch hook and pull a needle up and then pull it down with my finger where the butt is, this is the needle butt. So I pull it down until I'm able to grab that stitch with this latch hook. Now I'm going to move it, and it's going to go behind the latch right there. Okay, you have to be careful while you're doing this about dropping stitches. So I'm going to actually hold that with my thumb so it doesn't come undone, and then move the next one, and then hook these together and pull this down with my finger, pulling against it with this other arm until it comes down, and I can pull it through. Do you see it?
Okay, possibly.
Yep. Let's try this again.
Another one.
Okay, goes back behind there. Pull this up so the stitch is behind the latch. Now both stitches are behind the latch, right? Which is when it can drop, so we've got to be careful. So I'm going to hook this in here, pull this down, let that stitch come off, and then turn this and then pull this through. So there's the second needle. Oops, now that one fell through. That's okay, I can just kind of pull it through so it gets twisted around so I can get it in the hook. And you know, that's the action of the needle. That's what the latch is for. It's for releasing the loop, but you want to release the loop onto the other latch, and then the hook is for grabbing the loop. So if it goes past the latch, then you have to just bring it back up to the hook. I'm sure my arm is a little awkward here. Is it in the way?
No, I zoomed in so you can see it better.
Okay. And it's a little awkward going into this channel there where the needle is. You try to keep a consistent tension. Actually, I see something happening over here. Okay, you keep pulling it through. I think that's good. You want to do that all the way to the end. I'm just noticing that these needles, because of the lack of tension, they popped off right there. This gives me a great opportunity to introduce this to introduce this tool. Okay, this little hook right here is very good for picking up stitches that drop off, right? Okay, so what happens is when they come off, it's easy for them to continue to unravel. And so let's try to put that on there and tug it down. And then put this on here and then tug it down. This takes a lot of patience, by the way. This stuff is going to happen, right? And so I think that what I want to do really quick so it doesn't happen again is go over here. Oops. And I can look for these. There's a whole packages of them in here. And they'll hook into the fabric, and then these weights will pull it down. You can do it by feel. So that's good enough. I think one is good enough. Okay. Now you feel that there's a lot of weight on there. Oops. I might have lost one there. And when this, now the problem here is when you transfer the stitch over to the other needle, you have to make sure you get it, or else it will immediately start to unravel because there's tension pulling it down. Now by now, I think I'm going to want to take off that tension. It's getting to be too much, so I'll just release it. There. And then I'm going to pull this out. Put this through here. Okay. And here's our swatch. It's about 40 by 60 of just jersey. The front and the back. And this is where we just did our cast off.